build workflow in as well. So if there are certain things that you want to have posted into a channel, if you post something in, it might then forward it somewhere else. All of these workflows can be added into your channels. So you can really look at business process and try and enhance the way that you work. If we go back to our files, in here, these are documents that have been uploaded into the filing area. And it does help us be much more structured with our documents. So you have your main team, which is 365 training. You have your channels, and then within the channels, if you want to, you can have folders. So I'm just going to call that outlines, and these are for us to put courses into, and you can just drag and drop within the same area. We can drag and drop things into our folders, and you can have folders in folders, but it helps you be more structured. When you go to here and you look at the main documents, you can see we've got channels and we've got the site. Any documents that you have got stored are actually sitting inside SharePoint. Now, looking at the team and looking at the options along the top here, all of these can be done in SharePoint, or you can do them from here. I can download a document. I've got all of this different functionality, but what I have got is the ability to open it in SharePoint. So if you have got your SharePoint set up, I will just quickly go back. That would open you in a SharePoint site. And that SharePoint site means that you can carry out all the functionality that you would do in SharePoint anyway. However, in here, we can do most things anyway. We've got our 3 dots. We've got all of the features that we have in SharePoint. We can move files, we can rename them, we can download them, we can automate specific files, we can create alerts. I'll just remind you, if you haven't done alerts before, that you can set up an alert on an individual file that will enable you to be notified if someone makes changes to it. And if you want to, you can add additional metadata. Metadata is the formal word, but you could just call it tags. Although in Teams, tagging is slightly different, but it's just extra columns of information. So as well as uploading your documents, you could put some additional functionality against it that said you want to categorize your documents. So if I do category, that category can be, it's an outline, it's information, or it's notes. And if I save that, all of these documents can be categorized. And the way that I can categorize them is I can do that individually by going through my properties. I can do that to more than one at a time. If I want to pick a batch, or I can click edit in grid view. And you can see in here, I double click and it brings me up my choice. And if it's applicable to several of them, I can then edit the grid view and I have applied that extra category. And that's really useful in filing because it enables me to filter by just the documents that I want to filter against. And I can clear my filters. There's so many things you can do. But this is, as you can see, such an easy way of setting up filing. And if you want to, you can add the shortcut to OneDrive. So that means you can access it through your Windows File Explorer if you want to, which can be useful. So there's a lot around filing. It can revolutionize the way you work. And if I want to, I can set up a Word document directly from here. So instead of opening Word, typing your document, and then working out where to save it, from here, you go straight to your document. This is saying, how do you want to open files? And it's giving you the option for desktop, Teams, or the web. And it will enable us to open our document and create it automatically. So it's a different way of working that you might want to consider. Going straight to where the document is going to be and creating a new one from that position. And it can save you a lot of time. But as well on here, you can add templates. So if somebody in this particular channel wanted to put documents, we've looked at agendas in loop components, but if they wanted to put agendas in, if they wanted to have a special quote template, you can upload those so that anyone using this, because I'm an owner, I can edit this menu, but not everybody would be able to. So in here, we can also share our documents, and we can make sure that everybody has the right link, whether it's people with existing access, everybody in the company, and we can just copy the links, or we can send sharing emails out to share them. That, of course, can override the permissions of your standard team, because I could share an individual document with somebody outside that team or group, and they would be able to access it.